So this video, it's an unfortunate one, but I've learned quite a bit. As you can tell from the title, this is for the Pulse R72, also known as the Well R8. I've tried taking this gun apart, and it turned out to be... let me preface with, this really is an LPEG. It's a good LPEG, but it's still an LPEG. The body is two-piece clamshell. Some of the components are held in with pins rather than screws. I'm going to show you the basic disassembly on this as I've been able to get to it, and then I've got some components along the way that I can show you when I can't reach them on the inside without destroying the unit. There's a lot of parts on here that you can't reach without destroying it or using just a crazy amount of luck. The 3-prong muzzle device, this is super glued in about right here, and you're going to need a heat gun. You're going to need a thorough heat gun because it's all the way in here and up to here. There's quite a bit of glue. These are clockwise threads. I believe 14mm positive. And this thing is glued in there really tight, so when you're untightening it, you're just going to want to go lefty-loosey. And then pray to God that you don't fucking snap it off. We can do the stock. The stock's actually pretty easy. So, for the stock, so you're going to have a butt plate here. Mine's missing that. And then you just want to, there's actually instructions. It just says pull down. So you'd want to grab the butt plate and pull it down. And then you're going to have a wiring set on the inside here. Just foam padding on the inside that was designed to keep the battery from rattling around. Let me get these wires out of your way. These are glued in, and unfortunately they are rather difficult to navigate the wiring through. A simple Phillips head screw right here, you're going to want to hit that. So after hitting this screw here, which I'm going to do right now, alright, so we got that screw out. And then what that connects to, that screw connects to a pin on the other side. Oh, this one's missing it. But it just threads into that pin, and then you pull the pin out, and then at this point you can pull the stock off. It's just held in by that one screw, and then you might run into resistance right here, and that's because of the wiring that's going through the stock. So what you're going to want to do... What you're going to want to do is just fight with the, get that up. You're going to want to fight with the wiring. Wiggle it around and, alright. So getting the like I said, getting the wiring through here is really difficult to do. The screw just goes into it to hold the body to the stock. So that's that. And then here's probably the first major problem that you're going to run into. So you're going to notice that this Tamiya set here, this is Tamiya small, it's a bit elongated. I'm not sure what kind this is, but this whole assembly is glued in place. And you're either going to have to melt that glue, or you're going to have to rip it apart and ruin it. Alright, they have used an obscene amount of glue here. I believe it's all glued in on the inside, and it's not budging one bit. This thing is cooking and it's still not budging, so at this point, I'm sorry, I don't have any further tips. Maybe you can get lucky. Maybe try freezing it and then hammering it. Alright, we can move on to the front. We can move on to the front end now. The front end is just a little bit more pliable. So the R8 version is wired to the front, whereas the R72 is wired to the rear. This is an R72, as you can see. So, to get to the front, we have to get this handguard off here. And how we're going to do that, this really threw me for a loop at first. Just pull up on this tab. I had one unit that was locked, but I think that one might have been broken. So lift up on this, and then pull forward, like so. And then it just comes straight down. And then you're going to have this assembly. There's nothing we can do here yet, but there's two screws here, there's one here, and then there's one on the flip side, and that's going to reveal these panels, and then the panels will just peel right off. So, alright, so here's the paneling that I got the screws out of. It just peels off like so from the front. Very easy to do, and then it's going to reveal 2 screws here, and that's to get the front end assembly in half. And then there's hex nuts on the back here that are going to fall out. To get this, to get the sling hook here out, what you want to do is just hit that screw right here on the side. Wait, no. So just try wiggling it out, and then it should come out like so. And then that screw, wherever it went, and that screw, again, like the body pin, it's just gonna go inside here. Alright, so here's where I get stuck. So at this point, what I try to do, so the lower separates upper and lower. The lower is one piece, and then the upper is that 2-piece clamshell. Let me show you the lower. I'm not quite able to figure it out. It just kind of pulls down like a regular one. Don't worry about the fire selector. That's just screwed in on the inside, and it doesn't hold anything together. Okay, here's the lower. So I think the only thing holding it in, if I remember correctly, right, there's that body slot there. Right. I think the only thing holding it in was that front pin here, but I can't remember how to get it out. Right, it's starting to come back to me. So to get any further, we would have to get the motor grip, or yeah, the motor grip and then the motor off. But the motor wires, it's just 2 screws. It looks easy, right? But the motor wires they're not like the quick disconnect spade tabs. They are soldered directly onto the motor tabs. I do not have a soldering gun. I do not have the skills to use my soldering iron, but that's how you get that apart. Otherwise, I'm afraid I don't know how to get any further in this gun without breaking shit. So what I can show you is that there's a fake screw here, and then like a regular AR-15 electric model, it's got the 2 screws here that you'd reach with a screwdriver all the way to the bottom. Again, don't worry about the fire selector because it's screwed into place. It doesn't do anything to hold the gun together. And then after that, what I can show you, here's the gearbox plastic. I think this is V3, but as you can see, I had to cut the wires because they were soldered in place. Plastic, although, well, the plastic gears too, although I believe that's called a bevel gear. The bevel gear appears to be steel. And then here's the other side of it. This looks repairable, so oh, you know, I think this tab here is what holds it in, but again, you'd have to get to the bottom to get to that. And then here's the upper receiver, or front barrel assembly. Here's how it all hooks up. Then the cocking handle, the tube would go in there. Let me get that for you. Alright, here's the cocking tube assembly. It's the tab, or the actual pin, or the handle is held in by a screw here, and then you just unscrew that, and then this would be able to come out, and then there'd be a spring rolling through here. I'm afraid that's all I have for you guys, really. It's a hard unit to get apart, and you're gonna need a lot of skill and a lot of luck to get this thing apart correctly and then back together. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll try my best to answer them. I do have all the components on hand, so if there's a follow-up video necessary, I'll try to answer it as best I can with a follow-up video. So thanks for watching, and I hope this at least somewhat got the ball turning for somebody trying to fix one of these.